Not yet.
Oh,
Yeah, as of July 1st, we have to record all of our meetings. So we don't leave the recorder running all day, we just, put it in action when we have a meeting.
It's on now, Bill.
So, the Board of Commissioners are now in session, and we have a addressing change request, I believe it is. And, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the meeting over to you.
well, first of all, thanks for meeting with me. I appreciate your guys' time. I really would like to get my address changed from Cliffhanger Lane in Big Fork, Montana to a highway number address on Highway 35. I'm 4 miles south of Woods Bay, and my husband and I have had our property and home since 2010 there. And as you all know, the valley has just grown, and I find with the way it is on Montana Cadastral, plus my address, which is Cliffhanger Lane, clear back to 2010. It wasn't always that address. It was when the change went over. So on the Montana Cadastral, it shows that my approach to my property is Cliffhanger Lane. And if I can approach, I would like to show you. I have numerous ones, but this is my property. The lake's here, and then this is Highway 35. This is my property. I don't know, months ago.
Cliffhanger Lane would be,
This is Cliffhanger Lane.
Okay.
This is what they're calling Cliffhanger Lane, which it is on this parcel, but it's not on my parcel. And, that lane takes you down to these other parcels, which I did this exact thing in a shrunken version. I couldn't get it to blow up. This is me and my husband.
okay,
This is 7. This is a part of 7 that was broken off of the map I'm gonna show you. This is a highway, 20-foot access, 10-foot on each of the next 3 parcels.
okay.
So that's how that looks. And then, so what I find happening, sir, is that when people are coming off, like when I say people, UPS, FedEx, you name it, the highway gets a tremendous amount of traffic. And they're cutting across like this. And this property, this is not right. So what happens is before we bought our property, I got this from Dave's browser from the Department of Transportation. This shows my property, which as you can see it on there, it all adds up here. Same shape, same everything. And this is 218 feet. On this map here, a portion of this long time ago was taken off, so that's why mine is 218. But these parcels over here have their little on their deeds and stuff, the access to come up, but it's not coming up through my property like that.
Okay.
So anyway, to make a long story short, I was trying to make it as short as I could. But it's hard to describe, but, so this is before the highway, Maud Bowman, and my property, I was so thrilled to finally be able to get a piece of parcel, a house, here, so I did a lot of research. So my property is right here. This is Cliffhanger Lane as it should be on that map. This is 7. You see how it comes up here,
Yeah.
my parcel. So part of 8 was taken off, and that was, these people go through that part that was taken off and they go up to the highway like that. They have a highway address. So this, I would like that to be fixed or just totally taken off of
So do
mine.
you have an approach off of Highway
Yes, I do.
35?
I brought you a picture. I'll go get that. Because when I went to, got it at the print place. I
So
tried to,
Cliffhanger really doesn't go through your property?
No, it's right next to it.
Okay,
And here, this shows it exactly. I tried to make it as best I could. I'm not a photographer. I like to fiddle with the paintbrush, but not, well, let me get this here. I'm a little nervous,
that's fine.
but, this is my pin, this is my property line, goes all the way this way.
Okay.
This is the Highway 35. My mailbox is down here. Their mailbox is over here with
And this is
cliffhanger lane.
cliffhanger,
This is cliffhanger going down.
yeah.
And you can see the V in the traffic or how the people go out. And then this is, if you can imagine what I just described, I wanted to make sure
Mhm.
that you know. This is the second pin back here. And this is theirs coming down and it kind of goes like that. And this is what we do right here. So, you know, when it was just Jim and Sue Coleman in the little cabin, two cabins down, and then this little cabin, which they used to rent out. But now they're all getting UPS, FedEx, and they've sold, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just getting a bit much. And so I thought to
So
myself,
how will that? How will a change of address fix that, I guess?
for me, well, for me, I think anyway, and I'm a little bit, I saw all the disclaimers on Montana cadastral and everything, but I think I don't know what they see, but they all see, like for instance, when I had called to get the address changed and I spoke to Dave Wallace and then I got to, Mark, Clary,
Right.
they all say stuff like, well, you approach from Cliffhanger Lane. Well, I don't, and I never have. This is my approach. I promise a stack of Bibles right here.
Right, yeah.
And that's how I get to Highway 35. I make a right or make a left. I do whatever I want to do. And
Right.
so it seems like the right thing to me, to get that fixed. And they have plenty of room, you know, and everything. But
So where is your mailbox again?
my mailbox is, okay, my mailbox is clear over here,
And then the other people on Cliffhanger Lane are over here.
right here.
Okay.
And,
But as
You
far
can
as
see the-
traffic, it's not gonna change
oh,
the
no,
amount of vehicles or anything.
no, but it, what do they see? They all, even the UPS trucks and stuff see it, so. I'm just wondering, do they see something that shows something differently or?
I,
I don't know, do they, when they go into their computer, I don't know if they.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about, I feel like there's also, I just think it should be right.
okay,
And I'm hoping that you guys can, I'm a longtime Montana resident. My dad was born and raised in Whitefish, and I just am very proud of my property and I just want it to be right.
okay,
So that's all I'm requesting.
okay.
I have any map or anything you want me to research or give you, I can give you.
No, do we have any commissioner discussion?
I don't right now.
I guess I have a comment. So when we have emergency services flying down Highway 35, because you requested service, ambulance, fire, Cliffhanger Lane is very obvious, correct?
So is my driveway, yeah. They're both
Cliffhanger
very.
Lane is very obvious.
Yeah, oh, did I show, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. Did I show you?
So if we get emergency services on Cliffhanger Lane, then the addressing is fairly obvious also.
Oh,
There-
absolutely.
There's a reason.
And mine is too.
So I guess my comment is, when you turn off of Highway 93, right now you turn on to Cliffhanger Lane. Correct?
No, I do not. I,
Look at the asphalt in your one picture, it looks to me. So my opinion is this. I think that if you're worried about receiving services and you won't worry about them until you need them, I think the addressing that we use in this county is really understandable, especially for emergency services. And that's what I would base my decision on. I just
it's
think
Highway 35, right? Did I hear you? I thought you said that.
when you turn off Highway 35, the Cliffhanger Lane is a marked that's easily found by emergency services.
Yes, so is mine. Here, let me show you.
No, you don't need to show me pictures. I'm just saying that I think the addressing system we use to address your house was a good way to do it. And it gives emergency services a great tool to get to your house when you need them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm
And a little
hoping that
mailbox with a little address on it, you still have to turn on cliffhanger link to get to your house.
if you approve, and I'm hoping you will, I definitely, all of this stuff, Steve and I ended up, we keep all the weeds and everything down. We do all this stuff for the neighbors, and we will put up a post like this that says, but I'm not gonna do that until I get approval from you, and it will be very well noted, like some of my neighbors down the road. They have like a 5-number thing on the post, and,
And they still turn on cliffhanger link.
excuse me,
They still will turn on to cliffhanger link.
who does?
Anyone that's going to your address will still come off of Highway 35 onto cliffhanger link.
I don't think so. No, I don't agree.
I guess we don't agree, but looking at your pictures, I believe they'll still turn on to cliffhanger link. But you don't,
if emergency services put in their 5-digit address, so it'd be like 65-270 Highway 35.
Exactly.
I don't know, Big Fork, Montana, but
That's what my neighbors, some down the street in east and, or south and, north, they have.
so then if dispatch mark, if they entered that address in, then would that take them right to her mailbox, or would it take
Yes.
them?
Well, I
No,
have a post.
let me ask,
Oh,
Mr. Clary,
I'm
How's that?
sorry.
he's the department head for dispatch. So I'm just curious.
Well, so are you asking if, so when we dispatch fire department to that address, do they, our fire departments, most of them don't have GPS items in their trucks. Because that's high dollar stuff that they don't have. And so they're not able to enter it into something that will say, go to here. They're used to looking for landmarks, road names, and that kind of thing to get to where they're going.
So Cliffhanger Lane, they would, head there.
Yes, yeah.
If they
That's
were
correct.
dispatched.
And my thoughts on it, if you're throwing another number set in with a lane that's right there, that's already established, is going to lead to confusion. And I can see emergency services going by and then having to turn around and come back if the number sequencing isn't where it needs to be.
Right.
Does the highway, people that I see right down the street from me that have a highway number, 5-digit highway number with a nice post on it that has the number right there, right at the highway?
but
Do they not get emergency services?
they have a distinct driveway.
So does mine. I don't know how you can say that that's not distinct. This is them, I'm way over here.
But you still turn on cliffhanger lane.
I do not. I don't use I promise you I don't. I never have. I never have.
So,
This-
Mr. Bonner, do you have any thoughts on it?
The GIS department's position is that her current address is the correct address.
Our primary concern is emergency services. If we change it,
I think my primary concern is we have a process of addressing, and it's any lane with over 3 houses. Okay, that's how we decide. I like the fact that you have a large landmark that is fairly easily identifiable. And once you get on cliffhanger lane, then the addressing piece should be fairly simple. When you pull on the cliffhanger lane, you'll see her driveway or her house.
but her house is not on Cliffhanger Lane.
But she turns off Highway 93 onto cliffhanger lane and look at the asphalt and the cut. When you come off the highway, it's asphalted off the highway, so that's cliffhanger lane.
So are you saying if I just let all the weeds, like when Dave Browser in 2010, he was stopped and said, I really want to tell you guys how nice it is that you keep all the weeds down. So if I just let the weeds all grow back up, then you wouldn't think that, or because my mailbox, you can see it right here, sir.
Put
It's
the,
definitely.
will you put the hand on the driveway to
I
her
don't know
house?
which driveway it hurts.
It's,
Is it this one?
yeah. This is the approach off the highway.
Okay.
This is her address.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna have a tough time convincing me you do not turn on the cliffhanger lane to get your driveway.
That is not, I don't agree, and I guess that's why I'm here with the board. If you look at this and I would ask you to please look at it. This road goes way down. There's also 3 more houses down there, by the way, or lots that are probably gonna sell
Correct.
soon, if they haven't already. The guy divided it into 3 parcels, and so there's a little cabin, and there's another house, and then there's 3 more lots there. Those people are using this. I promise you, I use this for my approach right here. My mailboxes, I own 218 from this spot right here, this way, not that way. I go this way.
I'm not, my opinion is.
I just want to make sure that,
My opinion is, especially looking at this, you turn on the cliffhanger lane.
So Chuck, how many,
that isn't really, I don't even know what this doesn't even look like. I don't know when this picture was taken, but this, what is this right here?
Like vehicles.
Was this picture just taken just this minute?
This is Google Earth. So whenever Google Earth takes their pictures, it wasn't taken just this minute.
This was taken in
Right down
August
here.
of 2022.
September, yeah, August of 2022.
Oh, okay, I was thinking, I'm confused, so, this doesn't make any sense to me. Really, sincerely, my driveway, if this is my house here, which is a garage in the house, my driveway's here, and that's cliffhanger lane that you're seeing with all the houses that are gonna be down there pretty soon too. There's 2 right now. That's not my, this is my driveway right here. I promise you, right here is my driveway. See, this is my, this is my driveway right here. My mailbox is probably right there. This is my garage, 2-car garage. This is the roof of my house. This is my driveway. Like I showed you, straight down, that's a little cabin, and this is a little shed that's on 7. This is lot 7. I'm lot 8. That is cliffhanger lane. You're absolutely right. My mailbox, and I can put a sign right there, and believe me, nobody will, I promise you, they will. It's really not the case. That's why I'm here. I'm not someone that has, it's the one that you're seeing, the big stuff is cliffhanger lane. This is my garage. That's my aspen trees. So that's what I'm trying to figure it out, but that's what I'm trying to show you here. I did the best I could to take the picture.
Have you done any work on your approach since you bought your house?
No, well, not since 22. No, we've never done anything to our approach. It's always been that way. In fact, we have a goat carved out right here. You can kind of see it right there. It's a Rocky Mountain goat because we had to take the tree out because it was dying. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know why I can't seem to make my point, but I promise you that's cliffhanger lane that you're looking at is right in my driveway. This is not my house here. This is the cabin. And these people down here. And this is my house. This is my 2-car garage. So, I know I showed it on that one picture pretty well. Well, I guess.
well, I guess, my concern is other than emergency services, to me, would be the main, reason for not allowing the address change is that it would make emergency services more difficult to find your place. But I understand your argument that you're not on Cliffhanger Lane because, you know, I think we're splitting hairs when we're talking about which approach you use to.
This is my husband's blue truck. I didn't know
Right,
it was.
yeah,
And
to me, that's,
they go up there and there's. Oh,
Well, and one thing I never realized, but when you look down on it with Google Earth, there's really only one approach there. And to have two, they'd have to be side by side. And so that would mean 4 lanes of traffic, one going in and out for Cliffhanger and one going in and out for her address, all side by side there. And when I measured it on Google Earth, it's roughly 32 feet wide. And the state's legal approach is 24 with 4-foot shoulders, so that's 30 feet. So it's just measured off of Google Earth, it's only about maybe 2 to 4 feet wider than a standard approach. And I don't know, when you look at it off of Google, it just looks like one approach.
well, that isn't, those trees, the trees that you're looking at, you're looking down on it. That's why I brought this.
No, yeah,
And the trees, you know, they branch out.
There's a street view.
This is my pin here and yeah, there you go. You see it? Thank you. Who you got that? Yeah, this is
But-
my
But you're still
mailbox
into the same.
right here is mine.
And what I'm looking at is that asphalt coming off the highway. Right there.
No, it's packed gravel.
Well, it looks like asphalt
that-
to me.
Oh, that is that's something, yeah.
And, Cliffhanger Lane, any way you look at it.
I think the state highway department doesn't generally like to have 2 approaches side by side like that. That if they're gonna come off the highway, they're gonna generally do it in one. And not put 2 side by side. That will lead to confusion.
Well, I'm just, there's no confusion. I've had dump trucks there from building the garage and stuff. And I mean, nobody ever goes down there when they're looking for my house. I mean, honestly, if that makes you feel any better. Yeah.
But you have your opinion, I have mine on it.
Oh.
And like, that's where I'm sitting. I come from the first responder, emergency response world. And so I might look at it a little bit differently than you do. But she did come to our 911 board meeting last Wednesday. Ms. Upton presented to the board and stuff. We did not have a motion from the board to proceed with an address change from their perspective, so.
okay,
But I was told that I could come here and
Sure.
because I
absolutely.
really do have a very wide driveway and they have like 30+ feet. I've marked it off with, I didn't have it's probably like Bill said, from theirs. And that would be my boundaries, my pin's probably right there. And I honestly, I never go down that way and I don't turn off that way either. And there's a guardrail quite a ways back here, you know, off on the highway, not, I had Bill come out and look at it. I don't know, I can't speak for Bill, so
it's, and I guess. Well, I get, this is just flip, but it's, I guess I better do it right. This would be. No, this is Lakeside, sorry, I had it right. So. What I'm afraid of now, after looking at it at Google Earth and stuff, if you were coming and turning into, like to go into Edna's house, and somebody was coming out here, the natural instinct would be to go here and here, like every intersection. And if it's 2 intersections, it'd be coming in like this and coming out like that. And that would put the 2 vehicles over into the other lanes far enough that it would cause a hazard if cars were coming the other direction and stuff, I'm afraid. I don't know, after you look at it on Google Earth and stuff, I just don't, I'm sorry, Edna, but I don't think it's wide enough to have two approaches there. I think it's one big approach that has to be shared.
Those, they don't, I guess I don't, you know, back when you see that they come down from Big Fork and they start turning in here. I come down the highway and I go like this. I mean, I don't, this isn't, I mean, it shows it to a certain degree, but when you look at the from downward, it's not really. You can see the difference between this and how when you're looking down from the trees, you didn't think there was even a driveway, but when you turned in there, Bill, did you have a problem?
No, but
You didn't have
when
any
I turned in, I went over to the far side of the approach.
I was right there when you came in. You were
And
on my
pulled down
property.
into your road.
Yeah, you were on my property the whole time. But, you know, I guess, you know, it's my property. There's no deeded right to the cliffhanger. I guess I could put, I mean, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I want it to be correct. And it's not on here correct. And when I called and spoke with, Dave Wallace and,
Well,
okay,
This,
I'm getting,
he's with GIS.
I thought you were, Mark Clary.
I am.
Okay. You're, okay, sorry. Okay, got the names. You guys didn't really ever introduce yourself, so I was kind of sorry about that. But the first thing they'll say is that, well, you enter from Cliffhanger Lane. I do not enter from Cliffhanger Lane, just so you guys know. And I have never had anybody say
But
that
when
they had
emergency
trouble.
services goes to your house, they will identify Cliffhanger Lane.
Are you
they-
telling me that they will not see a highway sign if it's up
You
there?
know, someday at 2 a.m, trying to find a little sign.
I wasn't
covered-
gonna do, I was
It's
gonna,
now covered with slime off the road because they plowed and it's covered. Trust me, you get to Cliffhanger Lane, it's gonna give our first responders a much better chance to be there because you need services.
well, I don't think you know us very well, obviously, but that's okay. But we don't do things like that. I've seen what you're talking about. People put a little stick almost like a coat hanger with, and they'll put a little sign on there and they have it this tall. But we would put a post up there and right there, and it would be very clear. I promise you. I promise it.
And if you did that same thing at the entrance to your driveway, it'd be very obvious where your address was and be very easy for them to find you.
I would do that. I would make it clear.
I think personally, I'm not interested in changing it. I guess people.
Is there anything that I can do, because how would you feel if this was your land? Is there anything that I could do?
I keep going back to a fire at Jetty Lake and same type of incident. It was 1-2ish in the morning and we didn't make it to the house in the time that we should. And to this day, I will never forget that fire. The family was extremely upset with us because we didn't have, if they would have used, you've got to give these first responders absolutely every chance in the world to get there when you need them. And again, you won't need them till you need them. But believe me, when you need them, you'll be really, really happy they found you.
Well, then can you, at a minute, so I'm hearing, all of you don't agree or what?
Oh, no, we haven't
I-
come to a decision point yet.
Oh,
We're still listening.
what else I can say is that, number one, you probably don't, my husband and I did everything ourselves on this property. And we're very hard workers and we were very proud in 2010 to get this parcel with the cabin on it. And that goat, you can kind of see it on this picture, it's carved out. You can't really quite see them, but we did that to stand for, that it's we don't do things just for the hell of it, like a little stick in the ground. It would have, believe me, they would know where we are.
So if you follow You follow this road out, you follow the gravel, you can see where they're coming out here and turning like that. You can see that movement in the gravel. And that brings them out to the far side of this approach. Obviously, when they're coming out, they think that's where the approach is.
Well, you know how neighbors are sometimes and even UPS trucks. But Dana and them, you can see this, they're coming out there. You know, the people, and Ciro's in France right now, and he doesn't live there very often. But, a lot of times these are lilacs that, and we own on the other side of the lilac bushes. About maybe a
Well-
foot this way from there.
When it
You
comes
can
to,
see this too, but I'm just playing in my case, but you can see this where this is. It's definitely going that way. You could see it better in that other picture too, but
can you?
Is this an action item, Kate?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
oh, wasn't an action, this is just so we have time to make a decision.
oh, I can, here's this, little to answer your question. You can kind of see the gravel. This is the last week. They're definitely coming out.
Yeah, let me,
I don't know, you may, I don't know when.
I'm not, I just totally winging it here.
I think they'll find me better with a Highway 35. I can sign a waiver or whatever you want. I will do whatever you need. I mean, that's how much I feel. I can sign something, but I just don't. I guess I said
you can see
everything.
there, you know, what I was pointing to is all this edge of this road coming out comes over to this point right here.
That's an old,
Turning in, it overlaps. It like coming in and going in, going in. I'm not, after looking at all that, I think it's one approach.
right here, could I say, do you see that right there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's easy for you to look at it like that from the air, but if you look at this, this is my husband's truck and this is my Jeep. Do you see this V right here?
Yeah, yeah.
You see, this is where the mailboxes are. In this strip here. And the mailman nowadays, for the last few years, they deliver down there. And they don't really know what they're doing. And they deliver every morning if they have a box or something, and Dana gets a lot of stuff. But the actual traffic, from the neighbors,
I think we could take action on it today.
I think we could take action, you know, too.
We only
Yes.
have one person that it impacts. So I don't know if we have more discussion, I guess. I could see the want for a Highway 35 address. If the big impact is emergency services, then if the address change is granted, then I guess these folks would be running the risk of emergency services not being able to find their place.
And my comment will be, what about the people that live in that house down the road? It doesn't just affect these folks, it affects anyone that's gonna be in that property from now on.
well, I don't plan on, that's my treasure. That's like, I'm never selling that house, I can tell you that.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close it to the comment and just open it back up to the commissioners for discussion and a motion.
I guess, comment, I mean, we can say we're gonna live there forever and stuff, but if you say you're there and your husband has a heart attack, he needs an ambulance right away, and because they're looking for a Highway 35 address and they see Cliffhanger Lane, so they keep going. And being from law enforcement and emergency services and responding to stuff, I can understand that happening. I think right now it's working. Yeah, I mean, it might not be the address that's wanted, but it's working. And I'm afraid that if we change it and, after looking at everything, I'm afraid if we change it, we're opening the door to have a problem.
Even with a post that has the,
We closed it,
oh, I'm sorry.
comment,
I'm new to this, sorry, I apologize.
that's fine. So I'm ready for a motion if somebody's ready to make a motion.
I will make a motion not to do an address change in light with GIS and what they've done and potential issues with emergency services and other homeowners down the road.
So we have a motion to not grant the address change. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any more commissioner discussion?
I guess for me, after looking at everything and especially hearing from the 911 services and stuff, I mean, it's working right now. I don't want a chance on it not working. And, I'm gonna have to vote against it, Edna.
So I'll call for a question. All in favor of the motion not to grant the address change signify by aye. Opposed, same sign, aye. So, motion carries 2-1. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I guess I want one little, could I ask a question?
Sure, yeah.
On the GIS map, legally, this is not correct. And I can say, I could write a letter in writing. I'd like that taken off like that. I don't want it on my property, the line.
Where the line is at.
Yeah.
currently. Maybe, Chuck, could you
But
take a look at it?
Cadastral.
it's cadastral.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the state of Montana. Cadastral's lines are not accurate
No, I know.
at all.
Yeah, and we as a county, we have no access to Montana cadastral as far as moving property lines or anything. That site is all, Department of Revenue,
Department of
So,
Revenue,
right.
okay.
and they have a field office here in Polson.
Do they, their Department of Revenue?
Yeah, Montana Department of Revenue, and then they have a field office right here in Polson.
Okay. Okay,
And that'd be the place for you
okay,
to take your concern.
okay. Yeah, I just thought that might be something I can at least do there.
And I want, so that run I shared with you was 30+ years ago, and I've never forgotten it. And-
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to
But
experience
I'm
it.
sharing with you, it is heartbreaking when you fail someone when you can't get there. Just heartbreaking.
Well, I feel for you. I'm sorry you had to experience that truly. Like I mentioned in the other meeting, I have a nephew that's a highway patrolman, and I have a other nephew that is just got firefighter of the year award. And so,
It's fantastic.
and so I do understand all that. And that's probably one of the reasons why I wanted my address to be correct. I guess you'd have to be there to see it, but I understand your point and I won't take much of your time.
So I'm going to go ahead and recess the hearing.